Hello and welcome to this instalment of Talking Trim. I'm Jonathon Skinner and today we're looking at the front seat covers for the Triumph TR4 range. Now, as I'm sure some of you are aware, the TR4s had three different versions of seat covers which spanned over the course of two different versions of seat frames. What we're looking at here specifically are the earlier style ones, so the ones that immediately superseded the TR3A models. And for complete clarity, the first couple of versions of seat covers, which are the ones that you can see in the video right now, they shared the same seat frame, and it was an exact replica of the seat frame that was used on the TR3A and TR3B. The only slight difference might have been in the seat base pan, which might have had a recess for an extra bit of springiness with the seat spring, but I will go into that in further detail. But apart from that, the seat frames are pretty much identical. For this earlier style TR4. They are often kind of referred to as the bucket style seat frames. Not to be confused with the later style TR4, which was this much squarer, tubular framed seat, which had often referred to as a square back because it had a quite square back on it, and in fact had a hardboard panel on the back of it there. So we're not talking about that seat cover or seat frame there. We are talking about the earlier version ones, and please note this is purely for a TR4, not to be confused with the TR4A, also known as the TR4 IRS. So anyway, as with all of my videos now, I'm updating and keeping things fresh in the description area below, so please do check that out. There might be some useful information that I might have overlooked or forgotten there that I'll put in there, but also there'll be links to other useful videos related to these products, as well as links to our website as not only where to buy these specific seat covers, but also some useful links to our blog handbook area, which is always being updated with useful information, not just on these specific parts, but also the raw materials that we use and the processes that we adhere to here. We're very, very pedantic about details and quality. We've been doing this for a long time, and we're the market leader for that area of this industry. So just bear that in mind and be sure to check it out. Right, let's dive on to these then. So like I say, the earlier style TR4s, the seat frame was carried over from the TR3A and TR3B, so it's that sort of bucket style seat. And with that, the hardware, the seat foams and the seat tacking strips remained unchanged. The seat springs, mostly unchanged. A lot of them did share the exact same ones, but effectively there were two versions of seat springs related to the base of the seat frame. Some of the bases were flat, other ones had a recess in them, which then accommodated an extra bit on the spring unit there. I have got a useful video, which I will put in the description below, that goes into those details. But apart from that, the frame is pretty much identical, and it's that bucket style as opposed to this style here with the square element to it. So you've got two different seat covers here. What we've got is on the left here, this is the identical TR3A, TR3B seat covers. They are literally exactly the same for those cars. These have been done in parchment vinyl, so it's like a cream vinyl. You obviously have a pair of backrests, pair of cushions, and then these are the materials for trimming the frame surrounds. Obviously we mostly cater for frames that have one fixed and one tilt, which was the standard protocol, but if you do have two tilts, let us know, because that's why you have this extra piece here. Obviously refer to the TR3A separate video for the seat covers here, but I'll just give a quick overview. They are horizontal pleats. They have the side bolsters there. On the backs, they were actually sewn into a millboard material, the pleats there, which help get the curvature of the bucket style there. I can't really demonstrate with one hand, unfortunately, but do be sure to check the other video out where I've tried to demonstrate it. In fact, we've got a trimmed up version of those as well. The cushion base covers, very similar concept as well. Horizontal left to right pleats, tuck and roll as ever, foamed up backing there, and the surround. So that's the basic overview of those seats there. And then these seats here, so we refer to those, regardless whether you're buying for a TR3A or a TR4, we refer to those as the TR3A style seats because they are literally a replica of. Whereas these ones here, which shared the same hardware and framework, etc., we refer to these as the TR4 early. I believe other suppliers out there do refer to these as different names and different references, so just bear that in mind. They to us are the TR3As because they're identical, whereas these are the early ones which kind of followed on, and then we refer to these ones here as the late ones. Just bear that in mind. But yeah, you can see very much similarity between them in terms of the overall shape, but the very obvious difference is the pleat direction. These went vertical, top to bottom, front to back, etc. But apart from that, the concept was very similar. Obviously the side bolsters went all the way up, as opposed to those where it's had its own separate top panel there. The insides of them had these retaining straps sewn into the back of them there, but everything else is very similar, you know, in terms of the 17mm foam paddings and genuine tuck and roll pleats. The cushion covers, again, very similar apart from the pleat element here, and you can see obviously it does share pretty much the same shape, slight difference, wider front panel, etc. And the surround was done in sort of 3 pieces with some top stitching, detailing, etc., as opposed to just the normal sort of 1-piece surround going around like that. The underside on these, you can see we have the calico scrim and piping, which was used as a retainer to strap it down into the springs, etc., which was fairly unique to these seats here. So that's an overview of those there. It's worth noting that these, as we refer to them, early style seats with the vertical pleats, pretty rare. You did not see many cars leaving the factory with these. We do absolutely tons of the 3As style. We do tons of the late style. We only do a handful of these. So that gives an indication of just how many they produce. See our website, I'm sure I've got the chassis number range written down for when Triumph should have used these seat styles. But you can't always trust chassis number ranges in that regard, because I always say what was more inconsistent than the actual production line at that time was the record keeping of that production line. And so it's always hard to know, but just bear that in mind. Obviously, if you've got a bit of a basket case car, you've got the frames but you weren't sure what seats were meant to be in them, then talk to us. We can check your chassis number, see what Triumph should have fitted your car with, and it's kind of up to you whether you want to go down that direction or not. But yeah, thought I'd do a bit of a video on there. It's worth noting as well, sorry, just on these seats here, obviously these have been done black white. These have actually been done leather faced, whereas these are full vinyl. As with all of our seats, we can offer a 3-tier approach on the materials. You can go all vinyl, which is this here. You can go all leather, which is self-explanatory, everything's leather. Or you can go leather face. Leather face was a commonly seen option on these cars. And a general rule of thumb on leather face is the bits that touch your body when you actually sit in the seat, they're normally leather with the surrounds in vinyl. So for example, on this one here, the pleated panel and the side bolster panels here are leather, as is the front panel. Same again on the backrest, this is all leather here. But the retainer here, the finishers, the surround and the back, and the surrounds here, they're all vinyl. Piping, is always leather cloth where colours permit, which is about 90% of the colours that we offer. We use leather cloth piping. We do not use vinyl piping where we can avoid it, because vinyl is quite a bit thicker. Do see our blog post on that topic there. You can see leather cloth is very, very suitable for purpose of piping and also edging carpets. It's a bit of a geeky subject, but well worth a read, because a lot of other companies out there do take a bit of a shortcut with these things, and they do use vinyl for their pipings because it means they do not have to stock that extra material of leather cloth, whereas we know that leather cloth is, 1, original for a lot of these cars, but 2, very, very suitable for piping and edging of carpets, and so we do go to that extra mile with these elements of things, so just bear that in mind. I do plan on hopefully doing a video of it as well to go over the finer details, but in the meantime, be sure to check out the website for that. Anyway, hope you found that useful. Just very brief, well, not so brief, overview of TR4 early style seat covers, not to be confused with the late style. Do see my other video for the late style of those. But yeah, hope you found that useful. Please remember to like, subscribe and share with other classic car enthusiasts. Like I mentioned earlier, be sure to check out any of the links in the description below, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.